So, you're having a good look round, are you? Have I got everything? I know I ask this question in every video, and the answer is invariably no, because you're not very good at your job, really, are you? Hi there, it's Anne of Rosie Duck Designs here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very strange times that we're living through at the moment, isn't it? So I'm not going to ask a really stupid question about, how you're all doing, but I do hope that you are coping with what we're trying to deal with on a worldwide scale. I have to say that I've felt quite demotivated, if I'm honest, so hence it's sort of 2.5 weeks since I last did a video, which is not very good with my idea this year of being more consistent, but I've hopefully given myself a bit of a good talking to this morning, and I sort of thought that given the date, it was about time I did actually feature some Sale-A-Bration items, because we're nearly at the end of Sale-A-Bration. So I just wanted to do a very simple little card using the lovely Lily stamp set, which is, if I could possibly, could I have the Sale-A-Bration brochure? Thank you so much. You're safer up there, aren't you? So yes, level 1 reward, so £45 excluding postage and packing, and it's actually a reversible stamp set, so you can have the stamp with some details and then you can reverse it and actually just use that as a stamp to fill in the background colour. So that's one way of using it. Along with that, so the scraping noise is this chair moving. I should have said Jenna is of course here doing a great job doing my filming for me. In addition, another level 1 gift is the Lily Impressions Designer Series paper. So we're going to be using that today, and to bring it all together there are also some coordinating dies, which is a level 2. It's these, the lily pad dies. That's a level 2 reward, so that requires a spend of £90 excluding postage and packing. I'm not using the dies today, I'm just literally going to use 2 of the level 1 rewards, which is the lovely lily pad stamp set, as I said, and I'm going to feature a piece of the Lily Impressions Designer Series paper. Now I've got to be honest, my piece of paper has come from the joining offer. So when you join during Sale-A-Bration, so become a demonstrator, your £99, tell I've not done this for a couple of weeks, your £99 for your starter kit, you would normally get £130 worth of goods, and you still get that. So anything that you want up to a spend of £130 from any current catalogue, choice is yours. And in addition, you will get a stamp set of your choice, and you get the little mini paper cutter, which I have featured in a previous video, and you get this Designer Series paper pack, 6x6 paper pack. It could be easier if I actually highlight this paper pack here, but it's got a selection of papers from some of the suites that are in the new catalogue, which is not called the mini catalogue now. No, it's not called the spring summer. We've got that sort of rolling off our tongue. It's the mini catalogue. But it also features the Lily Designer Series paper, so that's actually where I'm getting my little piece of paper from. But it's also the same paper that is in the, or features in the level 1 Sale-A-Bration reward. So just as I say, a few days left of Sale-A-Bration. If it's something you've been thinking about signing up and giving it a try, absolutely no word's gone, no commitment, that's the word, no commitment. if you try it and it doesn't work, then you just simply stop being a demonstrator. But if you've got a wish list of around the sort of £100 mark, well worth a thought about joining. So as usual, links about that will be on the front of the video, and I did do a blog post way back in January when the world was normal about joining, so I can put the link of that on the front. But I just want to do a little bit of crafting, and hopefully I've got everything I need here. I seem to have lost a director.
Behind the curtain.
Oh, he's gone behind the curtain. Oh.
Sunning himself.
He is, yeah. I don't think people want a close up of our cat-haired curtains, if I'm honest. So I've certainly been finding with all this sort of social distancing that we're being asked to do at the moment, that it's making us, I think, really think about our friends and keeping in touch with them. So by phone, by text, by whatever means that we possibly can. But also there are, I think there's a lot of, or something to be said for actually sending somebody a little note. So that's what I'm actually doing today. I'm just doing a very basic, simple note card. And it might be an idea, if we made up a few of them, then you've always got a little card to send off to somebody should they need a bit of encouragement. Because, yeah, very, very strange and difficult times at the moment. But I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm going to try and get a bit more upbeat and get on and do some crafting. So I'm featuring this piece of the Lily Designer Series paper. It's not rolling off my tongue what it's called. I'll give it the right title. Lily Impressions Designer Series paper. And I'm actually featuring the two colours that are on this paper, and beautiful colours. Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. They're not colours, to be fair. I've got the eyes being raised now. They're not colours that I use that often, and it's not rolling off my tongue. To be fair, nothing is. Let's try the coffee. We'll have a bit of coffee, see if that helps. So, feeling better already. Bermuda Bay is my base card, and I've cut that as normal at 6 by 8, scored at 4 on the long side, and then obviously crisping up my folder, my bone folder, and I'm going to be doing this card in the portrait style. Unusually for me, I have remembered the metric measurements, so we're looking at 15 centimetres by 20 centimetres, scored at 10 on the long side, and that is your base card. I've then got two pieces of Coastal Cabana, and they are cut at 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm using one of these on the front and one of these in the centre, and that would be 9.5 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. Finally, I've got a layer of my Designer Series paper, and that is cut at 3.5 by 5.5, or 9 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And I've cut the same size in the Designer Series paper as I have in the Whisper White, and that's going to be my inside piece of paper, where the piece of card rather, where I'm going to put my message. Yeah, okay. I thought for a moment I'd forgotten something, but I think we're all right. So let's start putting the card together. Do the easy bit. So with a bit of Snail, I'm going to just apply my inside first layer. So I'm just centralising that as usual. I want to do a bit of stamping on that, so I won't do that just at the moment. But very, very simple card to put together. And you could obviously use a sentiment if it's for a specific occasion. Just pick pick the sentiment of your choice, and you could always add that to the inside of the card. I've got to say, I'm loving these colours together. And I've been saying this recently in a number of my videos, with the new products that are in this catalogue and some of the Sale-A-Bration items, I'm using colours that I don't normally use, though not because I don't like them, but because, I don't know, I'm just, I suppose, naturally drawn to other colours. And it's really nice to actually be forced in a way to step out of your comfort zone and use something else, and suddenly you're aware that, wow, that looks really good together, and it kind of motivates you to sort of think outside the box a little bit and think about using these different colours more often. So I'm just going to attach my designer series paper. So again, that's going in the middle, and obviously the lilies are going vertically, the pattern, so that's why I'm opting for the portrait style. Now the colour of the actual lilies is Flirty Flamingo, so I'm going to pick that colour up for the lily. So I've got my pad here of Flirty Flamingo ink. Don't want to confuse that because that's my middle piece, and I've got a spare piece here of some Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to use the lily, the larger lily. This is where I could probably show you this actually. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but this is the reversible image of it. That wasn't a good idea because I didn't bring anything in to wipe my stamp with. Let's try and do this without getting too messy. Oh. Let's do this. Where there's a will and all that. So it's not going to fit exactly, but it's just going to give you this little abstract design. So it's not designed to literally mirror the image, but that is how you can get this effect using both sides of your stamp. I'm not doing that with this, I'm just using my normal, get the stamp to stay on the block. It's not the correct way to adhere stamps, throw them on the block and then try and get your block to stick. But needs must and all that. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to stamp that down.
It's a practice, is it?
Sorry?
It's a practice, because it's not the piece of paper, is it? I don't know.
No, that's you have me worried then.
Have me worried.
That is for the inside.
Okay.
So no, that's where I didn't want to stamp on that. So I've got my image there, a very messy ink block. Let me get that out of the way. So I'm using two stamping blends. I've got the dark Flirty Flamingo and I've got the light Flirty Flamingo. And you can buy these separately. They're around £4, £4.25 each. I can't quite remember exactly, but really, really great to have the combination. So they come as a combination, or you can buy the light or the dark separately. So it comes with the little solid tip end, and also more with like the brush end. We are going to use the brush end, which enables you to add the colour very quickly. But although it's enabling you to get the colour on quickly, you still have a nice fine point at the end of the tip of the nib, which is enabling you to get into the tight corners of the design without smudging. Did you get too hot up there? I must admit, I can feel the heat coming through the window. It's a nice bright sunny day, so it's something good. Is there anything exciting going on out there, really? Something's took your fancy because I can hear you purring from here. Or are you just dreaming about your next meal? So I'm afraid that it's one of these watching paint dry moments, talk amongst yourselves. This is when I need you up here doing some sort of tricks or something, entertaining us all. But it is a Sunday morning and it's rare that I can get you to do anything Sunday morning. Perhaps I should be grateful you just turned up at some point. Fair comment? Right, so I have now done all of that with my light Flirty Flamingo. Now you can use the blends, clue in their name, to blend. I'm going to use them more as a colouring tool because I just want to pick out some of the elements with my dark Flirty Flamingo, and for that I'm using the smaller point, and I'm just going in amongst the edges of the leaves. So I've just got this contrast going on. There isn't actually, there's only a centre bit in this one, and it just looked a bit weird when I didn't add some detail to that, so I'm just going to make that bit up. And the choice is yours. You can, if you wish, blend in the colour if you're more proficient with colouring with blends than I am. I have to say, you look on places like Pinterest there and YouTube videos, there is some amazing colouring done by people with blends. It's almost like looking at an artist's picture, and I'm like, wow, I'm just grateful if I can keep it in the lines, but there you go. We all have our talents and we all have our different levels, and that's what's great about crafting. It's, at the end of the day, your design, and it's you giving of yourself to the recipient of your card. Which over the years I've been doing this, it sort of brings home to me how much people really do appreciate receiving a handmade card. I have a friend who is very, very generous, and whenever she buys me a gift, I always get a thank you card, and I think it was the last gift that she gave me. When I gave her the card, the next time I saw her, the look of joy on her face getting this card, I was kind of stunned, if I'm honest, because I was thinking, well, I'm the one who's been given the generous gift, and yet this card, it was almost like she knew I was going to be giving her a card, and it just meant so much to her. And later on, she was saying to me, oh, I love that card, I keep getting it out and looking at it, and I just thought, we give people handmade cards, and we just assume they read them, perhaps put them up for, I don't know, a couple of days, few days, whatever. But I think we may all well be surprised at how much that gift of crafting can give to somebody else. So never underestimate the power of a homemade card, or a handcrafted card. Because that's what it is. It is a craft, and we've spent a lot of our time and energy making that for somebody. So that is my, you've got that of you, that's my finished colouring in, but of course, it wouldn't be one of my cards without adding a bit of Wink of Stella to it. And I'm just picking up the areas where I've used the dark Flirty Flamingo blend. And so that's just going to catch the light and give it that little bit of glimmer and shimmer, bit of brightness that we all currently need. To say with the drawn curtain, he's not particularly showing up, is it? But you have my word that it's on there. So as I was saying, the Sale-A-Bration is rapidly coming towards an end, but do look out for, and I think I'm correct in saying that on the 24th, so that is going to be Tuesday, there is going to be a third and final release of Sale-A-Bration products, and they're actually going to feature products from the catalogue. So if there's something you've been looking for in the catalogue or wanting to get in the catalogue and haven't got so far, it may well turn up on the list. I've got no idea at the moment what is being included, but as soon as I know, I will do a blog post on it. So just to make you aware that not only are we rapidly getting towards that time when Sale-A-Bration ends, but there is one final area of products to be added that you may want to take advantage of. So that's my finished flower. I did say it was easy. I think it might be quite a short video as well, mightn't it? No? Okay.
21.
20. Well, it's quite short for me.
22.
22. So I've got a piece of Coastal Cabana here, and I've cut that out using one of my layering oval dies. Which one it was? No, it wasn't that one. I think it might have been this one. No, I think it might even have been the bigger one. There we go. It's the bigger one. Not that one. No, it's got to be that one. No, no, it doesn't matter. In the great scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. I just try to be helpful. It was the large one. If people are using, they're going to use it, it's quite helpful to say which one you used. It's part of what this is about. I'm supposed to do the hard work and make all the mistakes, so everyone else doesn't have to. Yeah, it's that one. So I've got, that's basically across the middle, that is about 2.1 inches. And then I've got the very largest one of the crinkled one. But again, choice is yours. You don't have to use one of the dies. You could always just cut that out using a circle punch or a round die, or just trim the card to suit how you want to use it. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to have a big shot. You can always come up with another idea using a punch or using just trimming it down. But I'm using this because we all know I like this one a lot. It's going to be quite a tight fit within that circle, but I sort of wanted the lily to pop out of that rather than making a big statement about the white card behind it. So I'm just trying to centralise that in the place I want it, so I'm not losing my leaves. I'm just going to stick that down with a piece of post-it note. I'm just going to run that then through my big shot. So I've made my sandwich between the acrylic plates. Obviously from where I cut something move out. actually that is going to be my next card, because that's quite pretty. It's a lovely die set that I used the other day on a card, and I must share that with you. It looks very effective and it's very simple to do. So I am now going to just stick that onto my lily design onto my piece of Coastal Cabana. So I was aware of your hand coming towards me. I thought there was a message coming. It's always the simplest bit that takes the longest. There we go. I've got some Stampin Dimensionals to just put that onto my card with. And I'm aware that I haven't done anything with the middle of my card yet, so I will stick my Dimensionals on here. But before we add those to the card, or add that to the card, I'll go back to the inside. So I've got my piece of Whisker White here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the smaller lily stamp, and with my Flirty Flamingo ink pad, I'm just going to put a little lily design. I'm just going to tilt it slightly off centre, just into the corner, so that my card has got a little bit of design in the middle of it. But as I say, personally I'm leaving this blank so that I can just put a message to, you know, for whenever I need it. And I'm just going to do the same on the envelope. And that one I'm going to have just going straight upwards. So that's the envelope done. I need to now just stick this in the middle of my card. Making sure I've got the lily the right way up. And again, I'm just centralising that in the middle. So obviously not as short as I thought it was going to be. So when the video cut out, I was sticking the centre of my card, and I was just centralising it as we would normally do. And just to finish the card, I'm now going to take the backing off of the Stampin Dimensionals. See, we nearly got to the end without without a break, but not quite. I've lost my director. He's disappeared off downstairs. I think he's got a bit overheated, so I will have to say goodbye to everybody on his behalf in this instance. So I'm just going to go, you could go in the middle, I think I'm going to go more towards the top. Normally I give you an option, which do you fancy? Like the game, bottom, middle or top? What do you think?
Go middle.
You'd go middle, would you? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem. I think having sat there aiming this camera as well as you do, I think you deserve some input. There we go. And we have one finished card, all ready to be written and sent to cheer somebody up, or to say that we're thinking of them, or whatever. Even perhaps neighbours that you're aware of are not getting out very much. You could always pop a card through the door. I'm sure that would be much appreciated. It's ways of just thinking how we can all just help each other, as I say, through these difficult times. And it's inspiring really, because for all the negativity, we're hearing so many really good reports of the way people are pulling together and helping each other as well. So let's try and focus even on the positives. So that has been my very simple card for today, and got me back in my crafting mood to a degree. So I do have an idea of what I will share with you next time. Again, something very simple that looks very effective. So that is it. As normal, I'd like to say you can purchase this on my online shop. Actually, what I've used today is a Sale-A-Bration reward. So if you've got this reward already, I hope that's given you some ideas. If you haven't, it's not too late. Just place a qualifying order of £45, excluding postage and packing, and you can choose the stamp set, or you can choose the designer series paper, or place a £90 order and you could have both. Or in all seriousness, you might want to consider joining if you're going to spend that sort of money. Endless options, and it's for you to sort of have a think about, not for me to sort of say one way or the other. But I just hope that if you're thinking of getting this set, or you already got it, that it, as I say, has given you some ideas. Links as usual, my blog's on the front, so do keep an eye on that. That will give you the up-to-date Sale-A-Bration details and anything else that is going on in Stampin' Up. So yeah, I think that's probably it. So thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe and stay well. And from Jim and Ollie and myself, look after yourselves, and we will see you very soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.